We in the season now.
You say what?
All right, we on.
Yeah, true. Yeah, the season starts now, But I wasn't worried about it too much.
All
What's
right,
up?
welcome everybody. This is Real Brothers Live, Real Brothers for the Real World. I'm TL, that's Stacy, and our man Guy.
What's up? What's up, y'all?
Welcome to our digital neighborhood. We got some pretty good topics tonight. Stace, why don't you tell us what's going down tonight?
And while I'm doing this, y'all, introducing the topics. First of all, like Nike said, I missed everybody last week. I was out of commission, but I'm back. It's good to be back. It's good to see everybody once again. And I want to thank my man Guy for hopping on and holding it down.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
He held you down. He held you down while you was in Wakanda.
Y'all try to get me fired. Guy, I appreciate it, man.
So if I wasn't trying to get your job, Stace, I wouldn't be doing a good job.
There you go. Nice. All right, so we're gonna introduce these topics, and while I'm doing this, Nike is gonna put the link out. So if you want to join us, feel free to hit the link and join us and talk about these conversations with us also. All right, here are the topics. How much compromise before it's selling out? The importance of sex in a relationship, heavy duty. Should we all buy guns? That's for them two right there. You know how they are. And you still aren't vaccinated? All right. Those are our 4 topics that we plan on hitting. But if somebody gets on and something is extended, that's fine. We'll push it to next week.
All right. Before we get started, I did have a little random topic that I wanted to put out there.
Okay.
And so my thing is, I was wondering, when we come on, we've been doing a lot of talking for a while now, and one thing that strikes me is that good intentions without action is just talk, right? So I know people are like tired of talking and tired of marching, and we got to kind of put something together ourselves, man. We can't keep waiting on other people to come and rescue us, or waiting for somebody else to step in and make it good, make it right. That's not gonna happen, man. So we got to build our shit from the ground up. And so what I want to do, I want to put a feeler out there on how would the folks at Strawberry Mansion feel about would they support a community center? So that's because that's something that we've been throwing around in the background. It's just it's just an idea right now, but everything that happens, everything that's successful, starts with an idea.
Right.
So we just want to get like try to measure the temperature of the people in North Philly and see how they feel about another community center. I know they have a couple, but
in Strawberry Mansion there's a couple.
No, there's none in Strawberry Mansion per se. But what I'm saying is in Philly, in North Philly, there's a couple.
Okay.
Like the
now, Mike, let me ask you this
something
then.
like that. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this then. What do you envision would happen in a community center? What are your thoughts? I mean, what would be the purpose of this community center from what you see? What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, we could do a lot of stuff in the community center. Like we could have a couple shows. We could have these shows in the community center. We could have events. We could have places for young people to go. Places for young people to come and
I mean,
we can gather and we can gather. Like right now, people are not gathering and talking. So my vision or our vision would be sort of on the lines of how the Black Panthers did it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But not as militant.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or
basically you're saying how much support would there be for a gathering place for the community in that community in the Strawberry Mansion area? How much support will there be for that? Like you said, get a little temperature. Of course, no decision. You don't move forward without truly, doing your due diligence. But just get a feeler. All right, somebody said we could have courses about politics and investing. That's real nice.
Yep.
That is real nice. I like that. Actually,
Yep.
right,
That's
right,
good. Yep.
right. Yep. Agreed. So yeah, so put your ideas up there. Just a little bit of feedback, like Terry said.
Yeah, because we're trying to measure, see if that's something that's actually even feasible. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Do you even give it a second thought?
Right.
Like it would be utilized. Do you think that's something that people would appreciate?
Right. Right. Exactly.
All right. So you can continue to do that while we're on, and keep putting your suggestions up. Also, like you said, if you want to join, hit the link and talk about that or hit one of these other topics. All right, Guy.
Yo, sir.
You here with us today. We got the 4 topics. What's your pleasure, man? Where do you want to start, man?
First I want to say about the community center. I'll wait till we touch on that topic, or we there.
No, we ready now. Just choose one.
Good. Yeah.
Choose one, and then we ready to run with it.
I think I like that one. I got some thoughts on it. I've had a minute to think about it a little bit, and I like that. I'd like to jump on that random.
The random.
First, before you even jump on that joint, thanks again for allowing me to come on and co-host, man. You brothers is y'all bring life to my life on a Sunday night after the L that the Eagles took. Man.
I know,
I'm still supposed to be sick right now.
Yeah, I look forward to this every Sunday, man. This is it's my job.
So I get to come on and smile a little bit. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So
that's right.
I can still go to bed tonight with that warm fuzzy feeling. You know?
Nice.
So
nice. Nice.
So I just wanted to say thanks for that. And let's rock and roll with the community center. I'm digging that. I like that. I like the idea, and I got some thoughts on it too. And so let me get them while they hot, because in my brain it's like the thoughts are fleeting. They in, they out. It's like an expressway. So
that IT program would be perfect for something like that too. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole lot of stuff we could bring to the community from a gathering place. That's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But guys, so what are your thoughts though? I mean, what is it? What about the idea that grabs you?
What's up, Phil?
Phil, what's up, man?
What's up,
Got no Phil on the line.
Yo,
right,
Phil, how
finish
you doing?
your thought, then we're gonna go to Phil.
All right, I'm gonna just run this thought down. So what I'm thinking, what interests me, just the thought of it, number one, excites me, right? So I'm excited about it. And then what runs through my mind is, the possibility for the program in a space like this. Number one, when you create a safe space for our people in our community that we can go to and share and build ideas and, actually talk with each other and build, that's an amazing thing. And just to think about the programming that can go on here, like you got 24 hours in a day where you can tap into the community and you can talk to them about education, you can talk to them about finance, you can talk to them about recreation, you can talk to them about mental and behavioral health issues, you can bring a lot. You can talk to them about food insecurity, just anything and everything that we need
finances,
to know about.
all that, man. Like get your credit together.
When you have a place for us and it's by us and we have our best interests at heart, that's why when you mentioned that excited me, and I wanted to get that out there before I missed any of that. So those are my thoughts.
We can't keep waiting on other people to do it because it's never going to happen. You know what I mean? Somebody has to step up and say, all right, let's try this.
Right. All right. So right
mean?
now we want to introduce our man that just joined us, my man North Phil. Actually, Phil was one of the coordinators or organizers of the Strawberry Mansion Day. So we wanted to get him on to get some feedback. Phil and Guy have but Phil specifically has his feet steeped into the Strawberry Mansion area. So Phil, the question was, man, I think you and Terry kind of busted up about this earlier. Do you think, as far as a community center in the Strawberry Mansion area, is that something that you think we'll be able to get support for? What are your thoughts about that, man?
Hopefully we can get some support for what saddens me about this whole situation is how we think about these things, but the people in power don't think about these things.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, as far as the politicians and stuff, you know what I mean? As far as the politicians, man, I think it could get done, man. I say a group of strong black men, man. Couple
We
little
can do
guys
it.
we use the resources we have, man. Just think about it, man. We put together that community day with no help and no politicians and none of that
Right,
stuff, man.
right,
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
right,
saying? So I know we can do it. I'm not even
right,
gonna say let's think about getting the support. Yeah, that's something I want to do, and that's something I know we could do.
right,
It can be
right,
done. Only we can do it.
It's,
Those that can
that, you know what
clap
I'm
their
saying?
hands to it. You
You
know
feel
what
me?
right,
Exactly,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, throwback
Yeah,
in there.
you know what I'm
But you
yeah,
know what
saying?
man.
though, and I'm
We
sure
gotta force these dudes' hand, man. These dudes that's in
that,
power,
that's exact
man.
Phil. That what you just said, I think is Ken. I was about to say, and I'm sure that guy would have an appreciation for this as an attorney. It's a certain way that you fight those guys, a way to get their attention. There's a way you talk to them to get them to listen. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Yep,
and what you just said, there's a way to force their hand. If
Right.
we
you have
got
an
to.
idea like that,
But you
so
can't wait for them to do it. You
no, no,
have to
no. I'm not saying you
take
wait.
the
Nope.
initiative. You
I
know what I mean?
agree.
Man,
I agree.
and,
You keep pushing
and
and
let's
pushing
see
and
how many
pushing.
of these kids is dying, man, with no resources, man. Like,
Right.
come
These
on,
kids
man.
don't have
Like,
nowhere to go. They don't have nothing to
nowhere to
do. They
go.
don't have nothing to
Nothing to
occupy
do.
that. Yo, man, the
Hey,
what they
hey,
say
Terry, let me
about too
ask you
much
this real
time on
quick,
your
Terry.
hands, huh?
Can I ask you this real quick, Terry?
Yeah.
Where the Mr. Watsons at? Where the Mr. Boones at? The Mr. Styles, the Mr. Abe 9.
Yeah,
Them
yeah.
dudes that really kept us safe in the hood,
Right.
man.
That's
We
right.
don't
Right.
have them no more, man.
Right.
Right,
That's right.
exactly, man. That's why
Well, we do.
see, you
You
get a
know what?
community
You know
center
who
with
they
some
are?
strong brothers around, man.
We do. You
Then
know
you
who they
can
are?
reach out to these kids for real.
And I'm
Right,
gonna quote. I'm
right.
gonna quote our ex-president. We do have them. You know who they are? They know Phil.
Oh,
You might
man,
not
thanks,
look at
man.
yourself like that. I mean, but it's the
Yeah.
reality. You are
Yeah,
that
you the
dude.
new Mr. Gerito.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, for
Oh,
real.
man.
Absolutely. You know,
Listen, man.
you have to be the change that you want. I mean, but
Right.
this is what it takes. But I think now each generation could take it to the next level because you have somebody that know how to write legally.
Yeah,
You know,
Right.
yeah.
you have somebody on the street. You know, so when you bring these parties together, that's what makes it happen. So
We
like I
are
said, it can
we
happen.
So
are the
we got to
change.
make it happen,
We are
man.
the
You gotta make
change.
it happen. Right,
You
We
know,
gonna walk the walk. We ain't
we
even gonna
can't
talk
sit
the
back and
talk. We gonna
depend on
walk the walk.
somebody else to do
right,
it. We
right.
are the change.
Right.
You have to be the change. Right, right.
Right.
Okay.
I want to jump in real quick. First, let me rewind it back. Stace, listen, I appreciate you speaking some things into existence in regards to my career. I'm not a lawyer yet. I got a
Oh,
little
right.
ways
True,
to
true,
go.
true, 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 true. My fault. True,
And
true.
I wanted to, just mention, I think with regards to politicians, that you can work with politicians if you want. I don't know how effective that's going to be. You can affect change and progress, but you can't affect exactly what I think is what we need, which is something right now. And also, I believe that we can't rely on our oppressor to free us from oppression. That I don't think
Right.
that's
It don't work
going to
that
work.
way.
What we'll continue to get with dealing with politicians is more progress. And I don't. Y'all know how I feel about progress. It's a convenient fiction for the establishment to tell us you're not ready for freedom yet. So, but listen, and I appreciate Northfield and TL and Terry, all of you fellas for being the cornerstones in our community and the old heads to the young bulls and dropping jewels and everything when you can. The podcast by itself does that. So I know what y'all do in the community. And as far as Strawberry Mansion supporting something like that, Strawberry Mansion would support something like that. All of our communities would support something like that. I hear it every day. And just Friday, I found myself traversing the entire city from Southwest Philly all the way to Northeast Philly. And I visited several homes, and every one of them, you know what I mean? Those are folks that say they want help and they want to help. They want support and they want to provide support. And this is a lot of people. And you don't need everybody in your community.
Another
You
thing
just need
too
enough.
is when I say support, I mean not just physical or emotional support, or I'm talking about financial support. I'm talking about rolling your sleeves up and
Right.
and actually
Doing some work.
participating
Right.
in the community center,
Right.
events, or helping to
Right.
clean it up, or helping to, guard, if you need to go in there just to keep everything straight, keep the kids from tearing the place up, all kind like volunteers, all that, man. We need a whole community effort. Like,
Right.
you know,
Hey, man.
we're working on, like, in the background, like the 501c3 and the all of that stuff, and the what is it, the trademark stuff and all that. But we want to eventually come to a point where we can have people donating, or however we're going to do it, donate, buy shares, however you want to set it up. You know,
Right.
GoFundMe, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm even willing to put a little bit of my own money towards it. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you know, we have to have support, because this is something that just can't be done, you know, on a whim.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It takes a
Okay.
lot of time. It takes a lot of everything. You
Okay.
know, so
All right. So Phil, man, we appreciate your input. Did you have something else, Phil?
Hey,
That you want to add
I
in?
got one more thing, right? One more thing. Two great point guards from Manson had a little mind. Terry and Snooze, man, they both came to me with this ideal about the community center.
Oh,
It's
Snooze too?
mind-boggling.
what's up to my man Snooze?
Snooze, man, Snooze been talking to me. We've been in conversations about the community center. That's crazy,
Wow.
man.
Yo,
Wow,
hey Phil,
great minds think alike, man.
hey
Appreciate
Phil, you
y'all.
scared me. When you said two great point guards, I thought you could say me. I'm like, no, I was a forward. I just say no, Phil, I was a forward.
Yo, you should have seen him earlier, Phil. He had his mean mug face on. He was on the court with his kids, like,
Hey, God, man, appreciate you too, man. Yo, the movement gonna be real, though. Why?
Yeah, it is.
Why?
The movement is real. It is real.
real.
We
It's
here.
real.
This
We're
is the
gonna walk the
movement.
walk, man.
real
That's right, you
brothers.
can walk
That's
the
what we
walk.
doing. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
All right.
All of us, I consider all of us
Yo.
real brothers.
Yo, Phil, what's up?
We're gonna have a little spot in the community center where you teach the young boys how to DJ, man.
You know what? Whatever it
that's the
takes.
thing too.
Whatever it takes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Whatever it takes.
I'm not playing. I mean, you know, if they want to learn it, and that's something that you could do, that you know, something is almost like writing poetry. That's you
We gotta
expressing
teach our
yourself.
kids how to
I'm
get
down
out
with
there and
that.
hustle the
That's right.
right way.
I'm
Yeah,
with
it's
that.
it's more than hustling than just doing it the illegal way. There's all
Right,
kinds
agreed.
of ways to make money out here,
Agreed,
and that's what a
agreed.
community center
Agreed.
is for. You know
Agreed.
what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
Yo,
All
Phil.
right, y'all. Peace, man.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate
Be
All right,
y'all,
safe
Phil.
out
Thanks
there,
for coming
man.
through,
All right.
man.
Thanks for joining
All right,
in.
cool. Yo,
All right,
hit me
we
up
talk
too,
to you.
Mike. All
All right,
y'all.
I got you.
All
All
right,
right.
Jack. All right,
All right,
Jack.
man. Talk to
All
you.
right, peace, brother.
All right, nice. Okay. Okay,
All
Phil is one voice in the from the Strawberry Mansion area, and you know, like we said, man, you know,
Yeah, Phil got
know,
his
you-
ear to the ground.
we got his ear to the ground, right. All right, so Guy,
Yo,
so where you want to go with it, man? We got the 4 topics. Which one? Which one you want to tackle? Should we all have guns? The importance of sex in a relationship. What were the other two? What was it, Nike?
How much compromise before it's selling out?
Selling out. And you still
and
not
the
vaccinated?
importance of sex in a relationship. I know.
And-
Yeah.
All right.
I know that's gonna be
All right.
popular.
You have it. All right, so where you want to go, Guy?
let's get into the guns. Let's save the 2 sex topics for the end. We want to tease them out a little bit. I like that.
All right, okay,
All right.
wait. All
Let's
right,
talk
so
about guns.
okay.
All right.
We-
Should we all buy guns?
Should we all buy guns?
Who
Well,
wants
let me
to go
jump right in.
first?
I jump right in on it. Let's go right on in. You know, shit. We talking about violence. Like, what the hell? Let's have it. So, well, not necessarily because we talking about guns is violence.
Right.
Forgive my
They don't
light
have to
answer.
be mutually exclusive.
Right,
I mean,
right. So
you
you
know what?
understand.
Go ahead, Guy.
So what I think about the guns, I think every American of age and who is eligible to purchase weapon, which should be every American adult, right? Should own a weapon. I think you should own a weapon. I think you have a right to own a weapon, and if you're responsible, and you should be able to carry a weapon. You should be able to own a weapon and carry a weapon.
Yep.
But why
No
then?
doubt.
Why do you think that? Why do you think everybody that's of age and responsible should just go out and purchase a gun?
I can answer that question in one word.
First, because
Protection.
right, and you have a right to. You have a right to.
Self-defense.
Right, and you have a right to defend yourself, and you have a right to use deadly force in certain circumstances, right? So, and we all know that. That's common knowledge. That's not anything that I'm quoting from a book that I read somewhere. Like we all know that you have a right to own a weapon. So,
Right.
For that reason, I advocate for citizens to purchase responsibly and be responsible with your weapon. Take a gun class, do that. And there's organizations. There's a couple black organizations that teach gun responsibility. So we could do it. I don't see the harm in it for responsible folks.
They do it every day. They do it. Matter of fact, some of the gun stores down here, you can't even go in and get a gun. Or you might be able to get something, but it ain't gonna be what you want because they can't keep them on the shelf.
Oh, okay. Meaning everybody down there has a gun.
What? Good luck breaking into somebody's house down here.
Now, what about though the other side? Because I think that I have two thoughts about it. I believe that if everybody in the hood, if black folks start going out buying guns, I think that would be a way to force gun restrictions and regulation. But because I'm of the mindset that there are already too many guns out there, I say take them all away.
Take away all the guns, so only the police have guns.
Interesting. I'm not opposed.
Or only
to that.
criminals have guns.
No, see, but now remember, if you're talking about taking away the guns, I'm saying get all the guns off the street.
How you gonna do that?
I mean, no, that's a challenge. We're talking about.
It's an idea, but how would you successfully think that you could take guns on? Like, even if they made guns illegal,
but think about the response that you and Guy just had, though. Is the answer then you're going the opposite way? Then you're talking about putting more guns on the street. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I think that. I don't think that that's the answer.
But I also said to use your gun or be a responsible gun owner. When I say everybody should have a gun, I mean everybody should have a gun in their home for home protection, or in their to protect their family, or maybe in their car. Not for road rage, but for protection. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's one of the fundamental rights of being an American citizen is the right to bear arms. When you start to strip back the rights that we have, that's kind of slippery. You know what I'm saying? And I think because we do have those rights, I think if we're responsible in our ownership, I think I am an advocate for guns, and I've gone so far as to host a clinic for folks who wanted to complete their application to carry open carry in the city of Philadelphia, or concealed carry in the city of Philadelphia. It's the only county in Pennsylvania that doesn't allow that. So I'm all for defending the Constitution, and that is the Constitution. If we start to scale that back, what else can we start scaling back?
See, but again, though,
then you have to think about if they can all of a sudden get rid of the Second Amendment, then what's to stop them from getting rid of the 13th Amendment?
No, and I get that, Nike. But again, I'm thinking about where we are now. Right now, one of the problems that we have is so much gun violence. That's
right, but it's not the guns that's killing people.
That's the irresponsible gun owners.
It's not the guns that's killing people.
So is the answer then to put more guns in the street, have more guns in circulation? Because let's face it, we all can become hotheads. Some people may not go get guns because they know if something happens, they're gonna run in there. First thing they're gonna do is run in there and get that gun. So is the answer to
don't no head get hotter than mine? You know that.
You know what, right? Think about what you just said. Think about what you just said. So what's the first thing that everybody had to do? Yo, go get them. Take them out the house. Exactly.
So listen, a friend of mine just texted me and said, what we need are social service programs to respond to gun violence. Now,
what do they mean? They need to hit the link, guy, and tell them to get on. But go
tell
ahead.
him to get on. Tell us what he means.
She
on.
Go ahead. She shy.
Hit that link.
You still got to put a camera on.
We just
we wanted to get on, and explain her, her position. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're going to listen to you kind of elaborate, but we would also like to hear her perspective also, just in case we have questions. But go ahead.
Right, because you have a question. That's a question that I probably can't answer the way she would answer it. So, but she heard you. She's on now, so she heard you. Maybe she will decide to.
Yeah, go ahead and hit that link. We ain't gonna bite.
Hard. Yeah. No, but go ahead.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But anyway, but I mean, the thing is.
No, but I think Guy had a thought though. Finish your thought.
Go ahead,
Guy. Social services.
I think the thought was, well, no, that wasn't my thought. That was someone else's thought. My thought was, and I tried to qualify my response with responsible gun ownership. You got some knuckleheads in any population that's going to do some dumb shit, right?
Absolutely.
They aren't going to be responsible with anything. They aren't going to be responsible with their skateboard. So you can't expect them to be responsible with a weapon. So, you're going to find some bad apples in the bunch that's, it's not going to be perfect. It'll probably never be perfect as long as it's one of our rights as citizens. But I still think that there are more people who own weapons and are responsible with their weapons than there are people who aren't. I think that's a small piece of the number. And I don't think that just because we're going to arm the hood, but don't get it twisted. White folks do get scared when a lot of black folks start getting arms.
Yes,
and they should.
But our issue ain't whether they scared or not. We don't give a shit.
Right, that's
we
not
don't
our
give two fucks about it. Right. Get mad if you want to, get upset, start getting sensitive. I don't give a shit about that. What I give a shit about is I have the same rights as every other person.
We should be able to protect.
Now, Terry, why you said they should?
Ourselves.
Why you said they should be nervous though? What makes you? Why you say that?
I mean, because like people is not going to be pushed around, but so much, Stace. You know what I mean? Now let's play this out. What I'm saying is, like, people aren't going to be just falling for any old thing.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Just like yesterday, they had that that rally at Washington D.C.
all over the country. Yeah,
right. They did. They had a lot of them. Right.
So just think about the temperature in the United States right now. Right. All those guys got guns. I'm gonna tell you from the door, they got guns. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if anything jump, no. Listen to me for a second.
Okay.
Let me finish. So what I'm saying is if anything was to jump off and you sitting there with no gun, what you gonna do?
Yeah, I get that.
No. If somebody came to your door,
we would have to depend you would have to depend on the officers to do their job. I mean, that's the reality.
They ain't been doing their jobs, and we can't expect them to start doing their jobs. Listen, my thing is this. Here's the twist. I would much rather, in the society that we live in now, I would much rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And
there you go.
Listen,
that's what
America
I'm saying.
is coming to, now you mentioned the riots and such that happened across the country yesterday. I know this ain't probably with the time or the place, but I mean, well, it is the place, but maybe not the time. But I think that America is having a reckoning with itself.
Right.
I think this
may even be another civil war coming.
This is something that black folks have seen for a long time. We've seen this. We've seen the planning. We've seen, folks begin to amplify their voice and to come out of the closet and, to show the world that they are here and they are not going anywhere. And the thing about it is it's a race war, but I didn't think a race war would look the way it looks. And the way it looks is white folks is killing other white folks, and they're going to continue that pattern until, either they decide that all Americans are equal or who we got to thank for it?
Donald Trump.
He was the voice.
That was the one good thing about his presidency.
Right.
He brought that out.
He pulled the scab off.
He pulled the scab off, and now we see who is who.
Right. He pulled back the veil. And then
now we see, okay, I see where you at.
I appreciate him for that. When he first got in the office, I said he's going to do that. That's one thing he's going to do. He's going to
expose him. Right.
But again, just to go back to a scenario. Okay, you have a protest, and now you have somebody with a weapon. Like you said, if people are saying they're not going to be pushed around, now you're talking about the Wild Wild West. So really, what you're saying is, to a certain extent, you're taking away the protection of the neighborhood or the protection of the citizens. You're taking it out of the hand of the police officers. Then, guy, like you said, if you feel like they're not doing their job, you taking it out of their hands and saying everybody's responsible for protecting themselves. And I
Let me
think
ask you a
that
question.
just hold on. Let me finish my thought. I just think that creates basically a wild west scenario.
Okay.
I mean, that's
let me
how
ask
things
you a
were
question.
at that time. I mean, everybody had a gun. You settled your differences in the street. They do the little thing where you turn and walk and shoot. I just don't know if I think that's the answer.
Let me ask you a question, Stace. So according to what you just said, you depend on the police to protect you.
Right. I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
Brother. That's I love you dearly. That's a mistake.
Okay, let me ask you this, Mike.
You have to be able to protect you.
Terry, have you ever dialed 911?
Nope.
God, have you ever dialed 911?
Not ever in my lifetime since birth,
I'm
brother.
on the
Not
phone.
once. No, but
I've never dialed 911.
Understand something, brother. The police do not protect us. They never provide protection for us. We call them once the act is done. We call them once somebody laying in the street with their head split to the white meat.
That's not what happened. Remember, God, we talked about it before. we were talking about it, and I've dialed 911 on more than one occasion. I dialed 911 at the club. Listen. And we had security. Things start getting a little too rowdy. You know what? Or people standing around not going home, and we need to move them on. You dial 911, crowd disperse.
That may be a little different scenario because you're talking about a business setting, a club.
No. Even in front of the house. In front of the house, you hear loud arguments.
I don't need no police to get nobody from in front of my house.
So
I don't need nobody to get.
Wait a minute. So Mugs in front of the house. Mugs in front of your house arguing, and it's getting a little rowdy. You sitting there with the gun, waiting for it to pop off so you can let loose.
What? No. But I'm coming down my driveway. How I do it, and yo, man, y'all gotta take that down the street. And what you think they're gonna say?
Right.
What you think they're gonna say?
Well, you know what?
They're gonna say?
I'm gonna answer that. No, they're not. Nope. God. Okay, listen. If somebody got their own, what are they gonna say? If somebody else had theirs, what you say, Knight?
They're gonna take that shit down the
No,
street.
Terry. If one of those knuckleheads have their own, you think they're gonna walk away because you have yours? No. You talking about
theirs ain't gonna look like mine, Stace. You know that.
Not, but you still talking about gunplay, right? Do you agree with me, guys?
I'm not talking about gunplay, but what I'm saying
you are talking about gunplay. Because if you come out there talking to a knucklehead,
I'm not talking about gunplay per se. I'm talking about protecting my own family, protecting my property. I'm not putting that in the hands of the police.
I don't think you want to be using a gun to protect your property, but to protect your family, and to protect yourself.
Well, in the scenario
Terry
that
come on going outside with his.
No.
You part of the
scenario
problem.
that you used, you said they were in front of my house. So
outside, I know, but
you said that they were fighting in front of my house. Y'all got to take that because I don't want no gunshots coming through my door, hitting nobody in my family. So y'all got to move that shit down. Y'all got to move that shit down the street somewhere.
Terry Gay light him up for messing with his mailbox.
Well, hey man, it ain't like that. But I'm just saying, man,
if anything,
you know how I do, man. Fuck that.
If anything, I can understand if you worried about somebody come knocking on your door.
It ain't even knocking on my door, Stace. Like
now that was nice. That's really nice.
Yeah,
Look what Gloria said. We got to put that up. Hey, Gloria, that's real nice. Gloria said, "An armed man is a citizen, an unarmed man is a subject." That's nice. I got that. But again,
that's exactly against what you just said. An armed man.
No. I agree. That's agreed. I agree that that point that she made is disagreeing with me. Right. I agree. I like her statement, but I still don't think that the answer is everyone going out to get guns because of dude like you. If they outside arguing, you can go out there with your big gun, standing at the end of the block, talking about moving. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying I'm gonna go down there with a calm head, and I'm like, bruh. First of all,
you just don't have a calm head.
Let me. You're not letting me finish.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna go out there with a calm head, but I'm gonna have my hammer on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be like,
What, guy?
bro, man,
Not
y'all
in his
shouldn't even
head.
be. First of all, y'all
Keep it
shouldn't
in the
even be
house,
fighting
right,
out
guy?
here like that.
Keep it in. Why
Move
you
it
not
down
in
the
here, guy?
street.
I'm
Why
telling
you
him
got
keep it in the crib. You know,
Keep it in the crib. See, Terry, you
that.
part of the problem.
I'm just
You
saying,
know,
if
we
it's a
gonna
problem
take
out in
all
the
them
street,
joints.
I don't know if you, that sound, I don't know. That could be, you could look at that a lot of different ways. I don't know if I wouldn't take my weapon out of the house up the block.
So you would go out to in your front door, somebody fighting, and did you say they had a weapon, Stace? You said they had a weapon,
No,
right?
they didn't. No, they didn't.
You said they had a gun.
Okay. Go ahead with that. Go ahead with your example.
So if they have a gun, I'm like, bruh, please move that shit down the street. You know what I mean? I got kids in here. I got my family's in here. Move that shit from in front of my door. That's all I'm saying.
He said, go ahead, old
y'all
head.
can do, huh?
And he said, no, old head ain't going nowhere.
Well, one thing I wouldn't do, I wouldn't approach a man with a gun.
See?
I wouldn't approach a man with a gun.
Whether
I got a gun or not, whether I have a gun or not, if I got enough distance in me where I don't have to address that, I don't have to address that. You outside my house with your weapon. I'm inside my house with mine. It's not a need for me to go outside and no, you got a gun. I already know that in order for me to match with you, I need to have my weapon. I'm not going to me taking myself and putting myself in that situation. I'm probably the protagonist. I'm probably the person that's going to escalate that because or at least between he and I anyway.
So, God, let me ask you one question.
I'm going out there like, bro, I'm going out there first, and I'm like, bro, please, like, you know what I mean? Move that shit down.
Approach a man with a gun?
Depending on his response, every reaction gets an equal and opposite reaction. You feel what I'm saying?
All right, y'all ask the question.
What?
Why would you approach a man with a gun?
Because he in front of my door with that nonsense.
So, all right, I got a question for both of y'all. If a dude is out there with a gun, he didn't come in the crib, and you want him to leave, why not just call the cops?
Come on, the cops ain't going to do what they going to do.
What? See,
come on,
what?
Man.
So, okay,
got a lot of faith in law enforcement.
So basically, no. Wait. Now here's my point. Here's my point right here. Bro. Here's my point right here.
Go ahead.
I have a better chance of talking this. If it's a black boy that has this gun, I have a better chance in talking him down than you calling the cops. Now you told. He got a gun outside. Now it's 20 cops in front of your door, and they gonna kill this boy.
Now, Gloria said.
So is that what you would prefer?
No. I told you what I would do. I don't need to go out there at all. And even if I had a gun, I would call the cops and say, "Listen, dude outside my door with a gun. Lock the door, and that's it."
So then, when they shoot the boy up and kill him, you like, well, he had a gun. Come on, man.
What?
You shoot the boy up and kill him.
I'm not going to shoot him, though. I'm not.
But if he responds the wrong way, you will.
Huh?
Why you walking out with a gun? You prepared to use it, right?
I'm prepared to use it if I have to.
Right, but you don't have to use it.
There's all kind of different situations where you don't have, like, the gun ain't your first option.
But it was yours.
If he's mad, listen. If he's mad at somebody else, I have a chance to talk to this brother because he ain't mad at me.
But you going out there with a gun, Nike. The gun is going to escalate it. The gun itself, now and now he has one too. Now you're the threat. He has a gun, and now another dude walking.
I think we took that. We went on a tangent right there. We going way out there.
All right, now Gloria. Now what Gloria said is, if we can read her response, and then we can move on. What we have here: one alpha man and two open lovers. Say boys, what that say? Say boys. Soy boys. I need to see. I'm a spam her to death. Well, first of all, I don't know who the
loving soy boys.
Yeah, I don't know who the soy boys are.
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying, man. Guns.
Is that one of your friends, guys?
There's no chance in guns ever being illegal, Stace. That's my only point, man. You know what I mean?
I don't know who she's referring to either. I don't know who she's talking about.
Maybe she wasn't referring to the three of us, so we're gonna let that ride. All right, unless she wants to come on and clarify. All right, so Knight, we got another three. We got how much compromise before it's selling out, the importance of sex in a relationship, and you still ain't vaccinated. Where you want to go, Knight?
You know me. Let's do how much compromise before it's before you selling out.
Right. Right.
And
Now,
and let me start on that too, because
okay.
this is a topic that I struggle with because because
You
of,
was
I
like
guess,
slicking your hair back trying to fit in. Is that what you saying?
yeah, no, because when I
Oh,
was in Philly, I had my dreads had got down to here, right?
right.
And when I got into North Carolina, and then I got into I had already was already in the corporate world, right? But I was in a new environment, right?
Right.
So the first thing I did was I cut my hair. So my
Right.
hair was as short as yours, Stace.
Wow.
And that kind of like it made me feel some type of way, like I was selling out, like I was like I was conforming to their standard when I shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? My work performance should be based on just that, my work performance, like you
Right.
know what I mean, and my work ethic, which has
So
nothing
you
to do with my appearance.
agreed. Agreed.
So
Now,
it has
so
nothing
do
to do
you?
the way I like to dress or I don't like to dress. You know what I mean?
So do you feel like the fact that you cut your hair, or you felt pressure to cut your hair, you felt like that was selling out?
I didn't feel pressure. I just thought that I would be more successful if I blended in, you know, at a certain point. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
then when I got in and I realized like it don't make a difference what my hair looked like, because I'm still the black man in the room.
Right.
You feel what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So that had a profound effect on me. Like now I'm never gonna cut my crown again.
Now,
Not
but
for that,
okay.
unless I want to. Unless I want to.
Now let me
Like I'm
chime in
never
on that.
gonna. Yeah.
Let me chime in on that.
Right.
Because I what we're talking about is, where's the line between conformity and conformity versus, I guess, staying true to yourself, or not feeling like you're no longer being yourself. You're not being true to yourself. Where's that line? Now, I don't think there's anything wrong, Nike, with there is a fine line, because and this is the way that the analogy that I use. When a basketball player goes on the court, his gear, his uniform has no bearing on the way that he performs for the most part, unless he's wearing tight shorts or something like that. But in order to play for that team, he's not out there with cut off jeans. He still has a uniform that he's required to wear. So if the uniform of corporate America is, they want you to look professional, meaning they don't want you to walk around with a wife beater in management, is there, I don't have a problem
Nah,
with
I
that.
ain't say nothing about no wife beating.
No. I'm just saying, I mean, talking about the line between conformity and dressing the way that you want to dress versus selling out. I don't think there's anything wrong with some conformity. I think it's required, because I think sometimes people will
Not conformity of my blackness. No, sir.
No, but I don't know if it's conform. Now, cutting your hair is different, Nike. That's different. I got that.
That's different.
But again, let's take hair off the table and talk about the way you carry yourself, or the way you talk, or
right.
the way
There's a difference. There's a difference. Like, cause Terry is the corporate dude. You know what I mean? He works in the corporate America. Blah 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 bullshit. Whatever. But TL is me. That's the dude that's the dude that you know, right?
Right.
That's the dude that you hang with when we kicking it. You know what I mean?
But you have to know how to move in different worlds too, though.
Right, and I move as Terry when I'm in the corporate world, when I'm doing my thing and all that. But Terry will make an appearance if he has to. I mean, TL will make an appearance.
Hey, God, you must have. All right, Nike, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, man.
Gloria, she killing us. Hey, Gloria. Hey, guys, she trying to bust.
Wow. She's trolling the shit out of you, Stace.
Wow, she trolling us. Hey, guys, you come on stage. She trolling you too, man.
No, she only trolling me.
You need to hit the link.
It's
You
good.
need to hit the link so that we
Hey,
can
Gloria,
fight back.
please come on. Yeah,
You
we
need
gotta
to hit the
see.
link
We
so we
gotta
can
have
fight
you
back.
on.
Hey, wait, this must be Terry
Yo,
family. She talking
no,
about
man.
TL is an alpha
They
male.
know that she know the real when she see it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Gloria, you got to hit the link.
Yeah.
I'm not putting anything else you said on. All right, guys, what's your thoughts, man?
On
You know,
the
what's the line between selling out versus versus conformity? How much
I think
conformity before you selling out?
How much compromise, before
How
you
much
selling
compromise
out?
before you
You
selling
know,
out?
I think it depends on the time and the place. I think if you playing somebody's game and you on their field, you gotta wear their uniform. You gotta play to their rules. But if you can put yourself in a position where other folks' opinion and other folks' idea of you or the way other folks move it doesn't have any effect on you. You really don't give a shit. Then I think you won't sell that. I think, and what I'm saying, like a few years ago, I know I walked away from my gig, right, and I decided to do something different so that I could do what I wanted to without anybody looking over my shoulder or asking a question about the way I move or or how I get down. Like it's like so. I think just about any level of conformity that's not required of like a role in your job or something. I think that's probably selling out. And I can't ever say that selling out is the way to go. If that's the way for some folks to go, okay, cool, I'm with that. And I may not participate in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's to each his own.
Right,
You know what I mean?
got a
But
question.
I'm just talking about for me. I can't do it. I got to be me, man. And
Now I got a question. Okay,
What?
y'all know that I like talking politics.
Yeah.
And in theory, they say you're not supposed to talk that in the workplace. So if someone comes up talking politics to me, but I chill out, I don't engage, is that selling out? Because that is me. And I would love nothing more than to jump in. But sometimes I do think like, okay, if I start to beat this person down, it might not be the best look.
It
Is that
depends on
selling
what
out?
they saying. It depends on what they saying. Like if they not saying nothing with any, any importance
Malice.
or like any, trying to say nothing, some slick
But
racial
what if I
shit or something
disagree
like
with them?
that.
Now, if they're being racist, that's different. I'm not talking about
You know
that.
what I mean?
What if I
It
just
depends on
disagree
what they
with them?
saying.
I mean, what if I just disagree with them? What if I disagree with the position that they're taking, and I do have a response for them? But like I said,
Then respond. Why not? Why not respond?
What you think, guy? Is that selling out?
Run it back. Tell me, is what's selling out? Because we went a couple different places with that.
Gloria, yo, hey Gloria, hey guy. When we get off,
wow,
we're gonna get on. We're gonna find. Did you read what she said?
I did. She's vicious.
We're gonna find her address. I'm
Wow.
taking this off. I'm taking this off, man.
No, I wouldn't take it off.
I'm not taking it off. I'm just messing.
Everybody entitled to their opinion.
I'm just messing.
But yeah, man. I mean,
what I said.
But the thing is, like, it's just like it's to each his own, man. Like, you got to do what you got to do.
Why you gonna put me on my back? Like, what's up with you? You tripping?
Wow. Oh,
y'all don't even know
y'all
me.
tripping.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
y'all
up?
still tripping off that, man. Y'all, it's cool, man.
It's cool.
Hey, on that note, we might as well switch topics, man.
The Beta Boys. What are you talking about? The Beta Boys, Gloria? Like, come on.
Hey, Gloria, I wish you would come on and explain what you said.
She tripping.
I'm at a loss.
She sound like she'd be fun to talk to if she did come on.
Yeah,
though.
I think so.
Listen, like
listen, guy. She'd be fun to talk to as long as you can take it. Because if you bring in that, then if we decide that we got a response to your responses, you can't start curling up.
No, anybody that can give it like that, I'm sure they able to.
She's pretty quick with it, Stace.
You don't know how quick with it she is,
pretty
bro.
quick with it.
I mean, but sometimes people can type it. Sometimes you got people that's good typing on Facebook, but when you sitting there across the table from them, it changes.
She quick with it.
Night, all I can do is go by what she's typing. We got the link up there.
TL's a cheerleader now. Come on, TL. Stop.
Exactly. Is that your family? Hey,
man.
All right, so let's go to the next one. All right.
Not yet, anyway. It's like, no. Hey.
All right.
No, I'm just playing. Hey,
all right, we got.
Okay. We on the next topic now, right?
Yep. You still
Oh, this
ain't
is a good one.
vaccinated.
Yeah, and
And the importance of sex in a relationship. Now, you know what's funny?
that's your shit right there, Stace.
How'd you work that out? It's like
No, that was your topic.
no, we
you came
sat
up with
down and
that.
agreed to these together.
Oh,
All right, I'll
all
go with
right,
it.
yeah.
Damn. All right.
All right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right.
Well. Okay. Well then, okay. Is how important is it? I guess the way that I guess I look at it this way though. I think that because it came about. I was listening to it was another married couple had a podcast and they were talking about, and of course they had two different perspectives, the man and the woman. Now we can't speak from a woman's point of view, but I think from a man's point of view, I think it's to the umpteenth degree as far as in level of importance. I don't think that you can have. And I think at different ages maybe it changes, but I don't think you can have can you have a successful relationship without it?
I think it's just as important to women as it is men.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
You gotta toss some wigs back on occasion sometimes. You know what I mean? And especially if you're in a relationship, you know what I mean. You gotta do what you gotta do to keep that person happy.
But I think also, Nike, I think it goes deeper than just the physical, though. I think that it's also it also to help to keep that connection. I think that if that's a part of the bond. You know what I mean? I think that's a part of the bond. So without that, I think you just where do you go from there? You know what I mean? And in talking to professionals, that was one of the things that this just kept saying. Continue to be physical, continue to be fit, continue to have sex. You know what I mean? So you might not think about how important it is until you sit back and truly think about it is important.
But you have to have a connection up here too. Well, to me,
but I don't think
you know what I
but
mean.
I don't think it can just be that. I think that
if you're in a relationship, you know what I mean. Like sex is more than just
physical, right?
Just fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like
agreed.
If you're in a relationship, sex is all about bonding. You know what I'm saying? Like getting your mental connection on. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when you have sex, you're not just having sex. You're making love, and you know what I mean. And I know women be always talking about they want to be made love to, all gentle and all like that.
No.
That's not what they want.
No.
They want you to break that headboard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta break a headboard or two. You know what I mean? And then sometimes they might be in the mood for a little romance, but you got to.
Right.
It's a give and take, man. Sex is more than just.
It's more than screwing.
It's more than it's more than just screwing. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what though, Nike? Sometimes it is just screwing though. I mean, let's face it. Sometimes let's face it. Sometimes it's like, look, okay, I came in, I'm tired, but I'm looking at you.
Can't post that.
Well,
that comment. Go ahead.
No, I'm ignoring it. Because she won't come on and say it. That's why I'm ignoring it. I mean, but I just think that sometimes, I think that sex encompasses all of that. It's physical, it's emotional, it's all of that. I don't think it can just be a physical act all the time. I think it's the whole ball of wax.
Right, especially when you're talking about a relationship. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. God, what are your thoughts, man? What's the importance of sex in a relationship, man?
Well, first, I wanted to say when TL mentioned love, and I know or making love and all that, I cringed. Right, so I've been single. I've been single for like 20 plus. Right.
So do you have to be in a relationship to make love, or you mean is that where you going with it?
No, I'm just saying, just the thought of it. I don't know. I'm not. It's not whatever. That's a different thing. When he said the word, I cringed inside. So I just thought I'd share that part. But I haven't been in a relationship. I think out of the past 25 maybe years, so something like that. Maybe one relationship or 1.5, and they lasted maybe a total of a year. right, out of that 20 plus. So when it comes to sex and relationship, I'm in a relationship with myself. So how often do I like to have sex, or would I like it to be available to me? Probably every night. But if it was available to me every night, I wouldn't be fucking every night.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no.
I wouldn't be having sex every night. But as far as a relationship, a lot of my friends that are my age are either married or in long-term committed relationships, right? And what I seem to hear is a theme across all of them is that their partner starts to withhold sex. And or they haven't really gotten down for so long or whatever, shit like that. And when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not the marrying type or not the hitching up type. Like, don't hitch your wagon to me because it ain't gonna work out.
Well, I mean, it's important. Like I said,
I think it's one of the most important things in a relationship.
It's important for you to keep your mate happy. Like, so if your mate is, I mean, I ain't saying like you just got to be fucked and sucked on every day. You know what I mean? Like, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's not natural.
Because think about it. Like, if you banging somebody every day, like what that. Come on,
you might have that kind of drive. You might have that kind of drive, but what I'm saying is, you have a part of your body that's dedicated strictly for that purpose outside of urinating, right? As a man, there's a part of your body. There's probably not another part of your body that's dedicated to specifically one and one only function. This
your
part
eyes
of your body,
your eyes are dedicated to seeing.
Seeing everything.
Ears are dedicated to hearing.
Seeing everything. They dedicated to hearing everything. I'm saying, as far as sex, there's one act. There's one act.
Dedicated to sticking everything. Like, what's the difference?
Not everything, but it's there to go in something, right? So
right.
And that's what that's the purpose of it. And if there's a specific part of my body that's dedicated to a specific thing, I think it requires to be high enough on a priority level where we both, as mates, me and my lady or whatever, understand that's a requirement. Like, that's something that, listen, I got a whole part of my body that's dedicated to that. I need to work that part out. Like, I'm not going to let that part just slide off and we're going to neglect it because of, I don't know what reason.
But how can you single out that body part? Because you have other body parts that only serve.
But it's a part of a whole, though. I mean, what God's saying is that this is a part of me.
You have other body parts that are dedicated to one specific purpose. But if you have this body part that's dedicated to this purpose, you should probably be serving it or servicing it.
Right. I mean, it's right. This is a part of me. How can you take everything else from me but that? I mean, and what I'll go even deeper. We were given these thoughts and this testosterone and all that kind of stuff for a reason. I mean, if you weren't supposed to have it, you wouldn't have it. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I'm saying every day. Like,
no. I don't think that's natural.
Okay, so is
I don't
sex
think
an obligation?
So you say it is an obligation?
Is it an obligation?
It is.
So,
I think so. I think so.
In marriage, it is, but when you single, it's like hit or miss and shit.
Agreed.
Well,
now,
even with marriage. So if your wife came to you and was like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't really feel like it. So you're saying you're saying that she should do you anyway, despite her being tired or
my response
having
to
a
that
headache or being
I think that if that's the case, though, I think it's gonna turn you off. So you're gonna be like, all right. And
I'm not saying all the time, but I mean,
right? No. That's my response, though. If you like using your example, all right, come on, I'm ready. Oh, I need some. And it's, well, no, not tonight. I got a headache. And and you laying in the bed, slop coming in your mouth. Then you're gonna say, all right, maybe tomorrow.
No, I'm gonna just sit there. I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna pull one out real quick, and then I'll see you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. What's the name of the show? Stays Real Brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real.
My thoughts on that is, if you we all allowed to have a time or two where we don't feel like it, or this ain't the night right now or whatever. I don't think that's the time we're talking about.
A time or two though. A time or two though. I don't think that, I don't think that, I just don't, to your point, I do view it as an obligation, the same way I think that I would feel obligated. It's like, all right, okay, come
So
on.
Stace, you
It
want
is a
somebody
duty of
punching the
marriage. I
clock.
think it's a duty.
You want
It's a
somebody
duty.
punching the clock like you like this. It's,
No,
it's
no, I mean,
time.
but now in the podcast, the way dude spent it, dude was like, how can if it's not an obligation, and if let's say the dude have a stronger drive, and if it's not an obligation, but you saying only bring it here to me. Well, what she say? Hold up. Well, I can't even read it. Oh, see, okay, I'm ignoring it. Yeah, she's trolling now. She's trolling. But no, but again, with the way dude spent it, and I thought it was interesting. He said that if it's not an obligation, if you don't look at it if you don't look at it as an obligation, how can you then in the same turn say you have to only bring it home to me? You know what I mean? How can those two exist? How can you if okay, let's say like I got to God's point. Everybody, every now and again I get it. Okay, no, not I'm tired. I get it. But if the moment it becomes consistent and you don't view it as an obligation, how can you then in the same breath say, but you can't go anywhere else?
But
you know what I mean? How can you
check this out? Check this out. Check this out. If you laying that thing right, she ain't gonna tell you no so many times.
Well, see, but to God's point though,
like you know what I mean. If you get if she coming to that point often enough where you know what I mean, she getting that same orgasm like you get, she ain't gonna tell you no but so many times. You know what I mean? Just you know what I mean. Women like sex just as much as men.
True,
but
true,
you know,
true.
You got to do you got to put your work in too. You know what I'm saying?
So, Guy, when you say you talk to people and they say that their response is that they're holding it out, what do they mean? I mean, what is that like a weapon? I mean, what is the What is
Look, let me say it again. Like, let me hold that. I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm just speaking to like some of the survey questions I ask people that not even survey questions, but just questions we have in casual conversations, whatever. Like sometimes folks will say, after they got married, shit slowed up. They wasn't having, the frequency that they enjoyed before. So that, to me, in my mind, is a flag for me to say marriage probably is not for me.
Right.
So, because I do believe that it's a duty, I think it is an obligation. I think it's part of the marriage contract, right? And I think that people should take that seriously. And I when people tell me them kind of stories, like, yeah, I ain't had sex in my life, or with my wife in this long, or me and my girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, haven't had sex in this long. I don't know, but it just sounds to me like, damn, that's a hell of a thing to withhold.
Check this out, God. What if all right, you married, right? What if you were married, right? And then, you said sex is an obligation, right?
I say the duty. I ain't say obligation. I say the duty.
All right, duty. It's a duty. Let's say you have a job like maybe you work construction, or maybe you do some physical labor all day, or you on your feet all day. You might not have the strength, or you might not be able to perform, you might not be able to perform at your best, and you might be like, man, I'm kind of tired right now. So
go ahead.
If it's an obligation, it's an obligation both ways, right? Yes. So then you wouldn't be able to say, oh man, I had a rough day today. I got a headache. I just want to take a nap. Or, man, I had a rough day today. I just want to chill. You know what I'm saying?
No, I gave that up. I'm cool with that. Like I said earlier on, like we all have those times where, tonight ain't going to be my night. I'm going to chill. You chill. You know what I mean? Whatever. Do something else or whatever. We all get those. I'm just saying, as far as on the whole, I think that's an obligation of your partner when you're married to, not necessarily perform, but to indulge you, to engage you in that way.
And then, like, so I just think in a relationship, you have to be able to fill in something sometimes that's not sex, right?
What you mean?
You have to be connected. Like sometimes I don't have sex every day. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. I had sex maybe once a week, once every other week. You know what I mean? Or like, you know what I mean?
But when you mean
when I
feel
do,
something
but when
else,
I have it, you know, look. But when I have it, I have it. You feel me? So like it's worth the wait. You know what I mean? It gives me something to look forward to, or you know what I'm saying? It's like it gives me the opportunity to connect with something other than sex. You feel what I'm saying?
But when you said you got to be able to fill it in with something else, what do you mean?
Yeah, like, okay, instead of having sex, maybe we go to dinner.
I
Maybe
see.
we go to a movie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we sit home and just cuddle up watching the
Still
movie,
about
watching
strengthening the
Netflix.
bond.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Okay.
Maybe we read a book together. You know what I'm saying? You got to connect up here. You know what I'm saying? You have to connect on a whole different thing when you're in a relationship. If you want to have a relationship,
it's the whole thing. Right.
Right.
It's the whole thing. All right. So it's now 9:00, man. We missed one.
Let's get that last one in there, man.
You want to get it in?
Black, why you ain't vaccinated yet?
No, I'm vaccinated.
I know. That's the topic.
I got vaccinated early. Right, exactly. All right. So those who saying that, see, I wish somebody would have came. Now, actually, somebody wrote something.
Yeah, I see it up here.
Yeah. I mean, okay. At one time it was, oh, you got it. Okay. Or at one time it was because it wasn't approved. It wasn't FDA approved. Right. Now it's FDA approved. So what is it now? I mean, what is it now? I mean, why mugs? You know, why? What is it about? Okay, I can't read that. What did she say?
It says Big Pharma, VAERS data show 438,000 reports of adverse events from all age groups following COVID vaccines, including 9,000 deaths and 41,000 serious injuries between December 14, 2020 and 7/2/2020. And I have an answer for that. Hold on.
Go ahead. And then I have an answer
for that.
Yes.
So there's been over.
That's my point exactly.
How
many people?
It's been over. I think near 100 million people that's been vaccinated.
No, more than that.
Or more.
No. In the United States, we're closer to 200 million people that have been vaccinated.
Okay. So if you put that number up to
exactly
statistically, that's like
talking about 0.0001.
Yeah, that's not even 10% or 1%.
So is that a reason? Is that a reason to not get vaccinated? And now the thing that get me is that we talk about how we're tired of being in the house, we're tired of wearing masks, but the statistics bear it out that if we get more people vaccinated and there are no places for the virus to go, we can kind of get back to normal.
Right.
So why not?
And here's another thing too. So, all right. So I remember one time when I was younger, when I was real young, I think I was a kid, right? And I had some kind of fever. I had some kind of virus or some shit. And then my grandmother took me to the doctor, the ER, whatever. And they gave me penicillin. Found out I was allergic to penicillin.
You sure you just had a fever night?
I don't know, man. I had some kind of. I was a kid, man. But anyway, that's when they found out I was allergic to penicillin.
Right.
But penicillin actually helps a lot of people with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's not good for me, but it helps millions of other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can't really go by like the
smart. No, I think the best response to that is we get it, and that's not to say that we're diminishing the fact that there are individuals that have adverse effects. But in this society where we live, you have to look at the statistics. You have to look at the numbers. If you have more of a chance to get struck by lightning than having an adverse effect to a medicine that's saving those other people.
Do you not ever go outside?
Exactly. Go ahead, guy.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was listening. Yeah, you say vaccinated or not vaccinated. I'm vaccinated.
Yeah. So and another thing too, right? So when you take your kids to school, starting in preschool, right?
That's right.
They have to have vaccination.
That's right. You have to show the card.
And then I'm sure there are a couple kids that it's kids out here you can't even fly with these motherfuckers because they can't be next to they can't even serve peanuts on the John no more. You know what I mean? Like You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So everybody has, well, not everybody, but different people have allergic reactions to different things. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And you can't really. So since people are allergic to peanuts, do you not fly no more, or do you not? You know what I mean? Do you not? You take peanuts off the shelf?
Right, right.
You
And
feel
I
what I'm
get
saying?
it. And I don't think that you minimize their concern or anything like that. I don't think you do that because and we have a right to be nervous. To be honest with you, to be frank with you, black folk have a right out of everybody to be leery of the of what the
Right.
government is doing. We have
I
a
know
right.
you guys Tuskegee and
Yeah,
all of that,
absolutely.
everything. But
But
the
at the
thing
same
is,
time, you still have to, if you're talking about reality versus, science versus non-scientific responses. I mean, you still have to look at the numbers. Look at the
yo,
stats.
man, I saw this. I saw this in this video the other day, and I couldn't believe it. People
What's
were
that?
at the CDC on the steps of the CDC protesting, talking about Nicki Minaj
Oh,
and
right,
her brother
her
or her
friend's
cousin or
cousin.
something.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, damn,
Yo,
these folks is listening to Nicki
Nicki
Minaj, who don't
Minaj.
have no degree, who don't have no, you know what I
And it
mean?
wasn't her. It was a friend of a cousin in
But what I'm saying is
Jamaica
they
or something.
listening to her. They listening
Right.
to her instead of
Versus their
listening
doctor.
to
Right.
a doctor or a science. Like, go to your own personal physician.
Right.
If you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ask them about it. Go to
Right.
do some research about it or something. Like,
Right.
just don't
Right.
not take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
It's rough, man. And because I think, and these conspiracy theories speak to, I think, a bigger problem that we have currently in this society, man. And I maintain that they're going to continue to come back to bite us.
we living in that movie Idiocracy right now.
Yeah. Now, I'm not
And
familiar with the movie.
unfortunately, I believe we're headed towards some type of civil war.
What you mean? Oh, what you mean civil war between the North and the South? What are you talking about, Nike?
No, not the North and the South, but the
Vaccinated versus the non-vaccinated?
No, the left wing versus the right wing. They've divided the country like the Crips and Bloods, red and the blue. You got red states, you got blue states. Who you rolling with? You know
and
what I'm
they're
saying?
perpetuating it, right?
And then
right.
and then everything that we hear is programming people. Even if you look at the news stations, you got MSNBC, the blue stations, you got Fox, and you know what I mean, the red station. You know what I'm saying? You got different websites for the left. You got different websites for the right.
The problem that I have with it, though, and I'm gonna say this: the problem that I have with it is that it's so hypocritical, though, because these same people. Let's talk about Tucker and all of them. Talking about they're telling their listeners not to get vaccinated and all that stuff. Say it again.
Lies. They're actually.
But they're
actually lying to the people.
They are vaccinated themselves. That's why when you ask them, "Why? No, that's my personal right not to talk about it." No, but if you live in it, then you will be bold enough to say,
you're telling other people not to.
Right.
How you would tell other people not
saying,
to if you right.
No, I don't have it, so I don't think you should get it. And you have all these idiots dropping like flies, and on their deathbed, now they're saying, "Give me the vaccine." And I hate to say it, but you know what
was that stuff they were taking from the feed store? What was the stuff that they were taking from the feed store?
Right, yeah. They did give the cows. You know what? Now, you know what my response is? I'm not ignorant, but those that refuse to take it and they're on their deathbed talking about give it to me, you know what I'm saying? Yo, and I'm not the rude one. Yeah, you had your chance. Bye. Yeah. I mean, go ahead, check out. I'm because you know, like you said, you had your chance. So now that the chickens have come home to roost, and you're about to die. Now you want to try to do the right thing. And in your obituary, you talking about take the vaccine. Bye. I don't feel any sympathy for you at all whatsoever.
Not even a little bit.
Not a little bit. Guy, you all right, man?
I'm good. I'm thinking about that, man. That's That's a tough nut to crack, man. Because I understand. I was
I
definitely
understand the
vaccine
hesitation, but I
hesitant.
also understand that look, we've had uh people close to us die of COVID.
But what were you about to
Like
say? Finish your thought.
rest in
Right,
peace, Larry. You know what I'm saying? Like
right. But what
so.
were you going to say? Finish your thought.
Um, shit. I was just saying that.
I
It's
think
catching up to you.
I think God done had a few of them joints on there. He done had a few of them. What you drinking on over there, God?
Corona.
I'm just drinking on some Coronas. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
I see you
No,
down in them joints.
as
Go ahead.
far as the vaccination go, everybody is entitled to how they feel about it. I was definitely vaccine hesitant. My kids had bought me a trip to the Maldives, and they said, Dad, we know you love to travel and shit. We got this nice little situation for you if you want it, but we ain't even gonna pay for it if you don't get a
That's right.
vaccination.
No need.
Now, my two daughters are both medical professionals. One's a RN, and she's actually in school seeking her nurse practitioner credentials, and my other daughter is a respiratory therapist. So they work with COVID day in and day out.
Right.
And they, not my youngest daughter so much, my oldest daughter, and she's like, "Dad, go get the situation, go get it done." My youngest daughter's on the same thing with me, like, "No, Pop, I'm gonna wait and see if people start sprouting third ears and all that." And we said, "All right." So my oldest daughter said, "We got this situation. If you want this trip, you got to get the vaccine."
Nice.
So the next day, I went and got the vaccine, and then I got a text message that said, "Here you go, Dad, a week in the Maldives." I said, "You
Wow.
right."
See?
Shit, that was incentive
Yeah.
enough for me.
That's right. And you didn't grow a third ear.
Not yet, anyway. Who
Not
knows?
yet,
I might
anyway.
I might get my superpowers next week. I don't
Nah,
know.
Terry already got his. He's
Third
Echo
leg.
Man.
Right. Good.
Right, he said good. All right, man. So we're gonna close this thing down, man. All right,
Yeah.
Guy. In closing, man, what are your closing thoughts, man?
My closing thoughts are if you want to get a license to carry or a permit to carry, open carry or concealed carry in the state of Pennsylvania, hit me up and let me know, and I'll schedule another one of those clinics or workshops that I hosted last year, teaching you how to go online because
More
it's
guns
online
on
now. The process is online now, so they streamlined it for us. So if you want that, hit me up. And just thanks a lot, gentlemen, for having me on, allowing me to co-host again this week, and I'm looking forward to doing it, in the near future, next week or whatever. But we'll see when the time comes. And
All right, we got you,
I'll
guys.
check y'all later, man. Thanks for having me, man. Peace. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
y'all.
No problem,
Hey,
Guy.
I got one more thing to say. My closing words is going to be this. I'm gonna end with the same thing I started with. If you tired of people talking about good deeds or good works without action, get with us, man, because we doing work.
Whoa.
We doing the actual work. We out here. So we 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 got things planned, man, and we gonna get this shit rolling. Y'all could be with us. You know what I mean? We hope y'all come down this road with us.
Right.
And we're not gonna sit back and wait for nobody to give it to us. We're gonna do our best to make it happen. So just stick with us, and we appreciate y'all, and hopefully we can build this community together. And
Right.
we
And you know what,
we
Knight?
can,
And I want to piggyback on that also. Everyone has a role to play, and not everyone
Right.
can do everything. So I might be strong in one thing, but not so strong somewhere else. So
Right.
wherever your gift is,
whatever your gift is,
wherever your
bring
gift
it
is,
to us.
Phil is in the
Yeah.
street dealing with kids. God does his thing. You do your
Right.
thing. I do
We're
mine.
gonna need
So
volunteers. We're gonna
everyone
need
is needed.
everything, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
we're gonna need
But
funding, finances. Even if people can donate $5, $10. If we got 1,000 people donating $5, that's $5,000 we got to work with, or
right.
$10, or
And
whatever. You know what I'm
and
saying?
also, like Nike said though, I mean, we're not saying that this is something that's gonna, we just want to kind of get a feel for, what the community thinks, and no decisions are being made tonight. It's not. We have a lot of things on the agenda, so we're
Right.
just saying, just hang with us, and we'll double back to most of the things when we decide to bring it out. Eventually, we're gonna double back. Right now, the thing that's in front of us right now, we vowed to have this handled by next month. We're gonna handle that. We'll let you know what it is, and then we're gonna move forward from there. But in closing, I want to thank everybody for listening, chiming in. We're gonna find out who Gloria is for trolling me and my man Guy. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, y'all. We need you to get on to YouTube and subscribe. You know, we hope that you'll do that to let folk know that you appreciate what we're doing, and we still like to get more people to click on the link and join in with us. But thank you all for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and this will be posted up. This will be posted up tomorrow morning.
Yep.
So thank
All right.
y'all and love y'all. Bye.
Peace.